Harsh Mander is a civil rights activist and joins me now live from New Delhi. Thank you for joining me on the program. I want to ask you first about a tweet that you sent out before this bill was passed, that your civil disobedience will be to officially register as a Muslim and then to demand the same punishment as undocumented Muslims. What response have you gotten to that tweet?
There's a huge response. Because I think that India has a whole history of civil disobedience led by Mahatma Gandhi. And the idea of civil disobedience is how do you peacefully and without violence resist an unjust law. And, this is the first time in India we're going to have a law. We have a law now which discriminates between people on the basis of their religion. So if I'm undocumented and I'm of any religious identity except Muslim, the state will presume that I am persecuted and will give me citizenship. But if I'm undocumented and Muslim, I will have no recourse. So in civil disobedience, you have to first resist, openly disobey the unjust law, but then you also have to demand punishment. So by registering Muslim for official purposes is the only way that I can stand in true solidarity with the people who are being discriminated by this law. And we have about 200 million Muslim people in this country.
It's been 5 days now since this law was passed, and we're seeing protests throughout India. What's your response to some of the protests that you've seen? And some of them have become violent.
Yeah, it's tragic. Right while we are speaking now in Delhi, one of the universities, Jamia Millia, there's huge violence right at this very moment against the students there, and we're hearing very disturbing reports. I fear that because the whole idea of India, the idea of the Indian Constitution was this was a country that would belong equally to people of every faith. And that breaking down is causing anguish and anger, not just among the Muslim people, but many of us for whom fundamentally the idea of India is being broken. I only appeal and hope that this resistance is very courageous, very firm, but is non-violent. Otherwise, India's had the memories of partition, and we had huge violence when India was torn apart on the basis of religion, with Pakistan being constituted as an Islamic state out of India. And what this violence is should not be a precursor to is that kind of violence that will tear apart our country.
Do you think the Modi government will listen at all to the protesters? Do you think that the people who are out protesting have any power to create change?
It won't be easy because this is not, it's not something that they've done suddenly. The ideological stream from which Mr. Modi comes, called the RSS, was never, they said that they believe that, if Pakistan is being constituted as a Muslim country, India should be a Hindu country. But it was Mahatma Gandhi and the leaders that we all revere who said, no, India will remain a humane, inclusive country, a republic that will be open to people of every religion and identity as equal citizens. And I think that this is an ideological battle that actually started really 100 years ago during the freedom struggle. And it's reached a decisive phase because for the first time, there's a powerful presence of the very people of that very ideology which opposed and actually resulted in the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. And so this is their moment in history as they see it. And I think they will fight to push India, and this is one of many measures that we've seen over recent months.
Okay.
They will try to push India into a Hindu nationalist nation. The people of India must resist, but they must resist peacefully.
All right, Harsh Mander joining us from New Delhi. Thank you.